here wishing you a Merry Christmas in March. I am working on 2 more pages for my December daily from 2021. And so, yeah, I've just sort of been working away a little at a time, getting most of these base pages done. And then I haven't actually printed the pictures yet, but as soon as I do, I'll kind of know if I need to make a bunch more base pages. I'm not going to do one for every day because some of them can be a little bit more simple. My album would be so thick if every single one was, really detailed and put together like these ones are. But until I kind of print them out and organize them, I'm not quite sure how many elaborate base pages I'm going to do. But I'm having fun putting all of these together. So I am Canadian, and we had all the fun of the Justin Bieber Timbits coming out from Tim Hortons. So of course I had to participate. My kids had to participate, and I had this is the little 10-pack of Timbits box. I kind of kept it. I figured it might come in handy. And so I'm going to create a page using the box. And I'm just here kind of cutting things down and trying to figure out how I can make sure that it's the right size for the page. So that page that I keep using is actually a page that came in the album the way that I bought it. And so I'm just using that for size. And I will end up kind of adhering all of this together on that base page, but obviously it's not a Christmassy page, so I want it all covered up, but they definitely come in handy to make sure that the sizing is right. So I'm cutting this apart and kind of putting it back together to create the illusion of the Timbits box. And it was pretty easy. I just sort of wanted, I would recognize what it is no matter what, because Timbits have obviously been a part of my life for my whole life. But it's just to kind of like make sure that it looks right, so anybody flipping through the album recognizes what I was going for. So I cut it in half, and I did keep the other half in case I want to use it for something else or whatever. But here you can see how I've sort of folded it all back up, and I kept that little handle. And then now I can use this sort of like a pocket, and I'll put some pictures into it. Probably the pictures that I took of us eating the Timbits. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. So I'm just using some wet glue as well as the tape runner, and that way I'm just kind of ensuring that it's going to stick down really well. The Timbit packets have sort of that glossy feel to them, and they're a thicker cardboard, so I just wanted to give it a little bit of an extra help making sure that it's adhered down really, really well. And it's a pretty simple page, but this one's fun, right? It looks cute, and it's going to be fun to have pictures kind of tucked into that pocket. I'm using this coaster that I have. It's really kind of heavy, just to hold down those flaps so that everything gets stuck down really well. And then we're just going to have a Peppa Pig break while we wait for it to dry. And then here you'll see I'm going to switch into my next page just because it did take a little bit longer for that page to dry, and I didn't really have anything else to do really on it. But I will kind of, add a few embellishments when I actually have the pictures, I think. And I'll also figure out what to do with the little bit of paper that's sticking out through the top handle when I have my pictures and I know what I might be doing on the back. So here in a second, you're going to see a little video pop up. There it is at the top of your screen. That is a video I took one day. I was sitting late at night doing this little experiment, and I was just watching TV. So that is just me filming on my camera. I didn't necessarily want to show the whole process, but I thought I would film it just in case this did work out really nice, and I wanted to show you guys what I did. But essentially I have these little cut files from Virginia, and I just went ahead and stuck them all down to a piece of acetate, just clear acetate. You could use plastic, really you could use anything that you have that has that kind of glossy finish so that the glitter glue would peel up. But I stuck them down and then I filled the little lights that you can see here with the glitter glue. I made sure to sort of overfill them so that it kind of leaked underneath and on top. And then once it was completely dry, I was able to actually pull them right off of that acetate. And they have just this beautiful kind of see-through light feel to them. I used glitter glue, so there's little flecks of glitter in there, but I honestly think the cheaper versions of this kind of glitter glue works the best because it has more of a plasticky quality to it, which dries and allows you to peel it off of the acetate. But whatever you might have at home, that's what you can use. It was really cool. I'm so glad it worked out. They look absolutely gorgeous. So I popped up that little kind of process in the corner there just so you could see. It's super, super quick and easy. You could definitely fill in larger spaces. I don't know how well the glitter glue would hold up because it does dry pretty paper thin, but I think if you added a few layers on there, you could definitely fill in larger spaces than what I filled in, and they're just so pretty. I'm so happy that they turned out, to be honest. So I didn't want to cover them up by sticking them to a solid piece of background. So here is what I'm doing to kind of give them the opportunity to shine from both sides and really let me appreciate the fact that it worked and that you can see this kind of cool light effect through both sides. I took some acetate, I cut it down to the size of one of the pages that would fit into my album, and then I took two of the large sheets of, well, they're not really large, they're like 5x7 foam that I get from Dollar Tree, and so I've cut two of them so that I can now, as you see here, sandwich the lights in between the two layers, and then that way you can see them from both sides of this page. I'm going to fill it up to kind of create a bit of a shaker pocket, but you really wouldn't have to do that. These shine really pretty on their own. I just thought if I'm already putting this all together, I might as well go ahead and add a little extra shaker interest to it. So because I'm doing that, you can see here with my glue, I am running the really thinnest, tiniest little line of glue around the edges on the inside of my acetate. And this is just to make sure that the sequins that I'm putting in, because I'm not going to use large sequins, I just wanted to make sure that it didn't get stuck in between the foam and the acetate kind of on the outside. I wanted it to stay within that little square. So I added a bunch of glitter, like a chunkier glitter. And then here I've added some silver green, I think there's silver green, gold, and red. There might not be the gold. I have to look at it again. Sequins, sort of like on the smaller side of a sequins. But in these little packets that I got from Michael's, they didn't punch out all of the little dots in the center of the sequin. So all of those little pieces of plastic are actually in the bag. And that's what I filled in here, was the little teeny tiny dots from the center of the sequins. So basically they're almost like the size of a glitter, but in all the colors from the sequins. So I thought that was kind of good. I didn't want to go with big chunky sequins because that would, I think, take away from the lights and sort of compete with the lights, but I wanted to just have a little bit of extra fun there. So now that I have that on the one side, I'm just filling in all of my wet glue. I'm using the wet glue because I feel like it gives the best seal with this foam. So I just kind of made sure to seal it as best I could on both sides. And then there I can pop my lights in. And once it's really nice and dry, I'll go ahead and kind of shake it up there. I'm going to use my coaster again, but I'll give it a good kind of shake like I did right there. And now the sequins are on both sides of the lights because they're kind of suspended in the middle. And that's it. That's the basic design of this page. So now I just want to pick some sort of paper or something that I can go around the edge and cover up the foam. And I kind of liked this polka dot paper. I wanted something with the lights like this paper here, but I realized that once I actually cut that center out, there wasn't a lot of the lights showing, and I only have those single sheets of 6x6 pieces. So I don't think I would have been able to get 2 full frames. I would have had to kind of piece it all together, and I wasn't sure if it was going to look quite right. So I decided to use this glittery silver paper and just cover up both sides. I figured there's already so much glitter and stuff going on. Why not keep that going? So I'm just going to kind of measure around the edges so that I have the right sizing. I'll cut those out, and then I basically just eyeball the centerpiece too to kind of cut out the window. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just needed it to cover up the green foam. It didn't look quite as nice. It needed something a little extra to cover that all up. And you could leave this page just as is and just have it be a fun kind of little extra page in the album, but I think I will probably add a picture to it. I haven't fully printed out my pictures, so I'm not sure. Sometimes I just have those extra odd pictures that don't necessarily go with any one particular day. They just are that extra kind of fun picture that I snapped and I want to include in the album. So this might end up being one of those pages, or I was thinking it obviously would be a great page for the lights on the tree or the lights outside your house kind of thing. I think that was the prompt for this particular day. The reason that I picked this cut file is to use it to document the lights. So I'll probably do something like that. Or I was even thinking the family ornament that we get every year. We get a family ornament, that this might be a nice page to just do that. So I'll just print out the picture, pop it on the outside, and maybe put a few extra sequins on the outside, and that's it. That would be that page. So here is a quick flip through of my album. There was the Bieber Timbits that I did, and this other page will be coming up soon. Please go check out all the links below for everybody else celebrating Christmas in March. Here is that sparkly page that I put together. It's so pretty. My light is not doing it justice. If you see it in person, it is just so pretty. Those lights are gorgeous. And I'm definitely going to be doing that technique again. But yeah, you guys got a little flip through of my album. It's coming along. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.